What is the giggly rule that you are living by the most right now?
Oh, what a good question. I would say I'm probably living the most by like not being on my phone as much. Like Hannah's so good at not being on her phone. Like she truly watches the tennis channel and then like does stand up. Like that's the only two things she does. She's so good at not being on her phone.
Love that.
So I have been trying to like not be on my phone as much.
Do you feel better about that?
Yeah,
Like
I feel more present in the world. But then sometimes I'm like, it's crazy here. I'd actually love to go back to my phone.
I need to escape. And you have this new web series as well.
Yes,
Congratulations. It looks like
excited.
you guys had the best time doing this. Yeah. You're like, life is great.
Yeah, no, Hannah definitely pushed me out of my comfort zone. We did a lot of physical activity that I
Okay.
wasn't anticipating, but it was fun.
Well, as we saw this summer, you were a kickball champion, so.
No, I'm very competitive.
Yes. What was the hardest thing you had to do?
We had to do aerial yoga, which I was like, oh, this is gonna be a breeze. Like I've seen so many videos of people doing it, realized I have zero core strength, and like it actually is so hard, and these women are jacked who like can do it. And so that was very challenging, but we had a really good time.
I can't wait to watch. It's gonna
And
be so
there's
fun.
not many things that I'm better at than Hannah in terms of like athleticism. And that was one thing where I was like, oh, I'm like a little bit better than Hannah.
You're still like rubbing it in her face.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're very much into this season of Summer House, and you're kind of going through all the emotions this summer.
Yeah. No,
What's it been like watching it back for you?
Definitely there are some parts that like are kind of hard, but then there are also some parts that are like very validating, and I think I'm really happy that people are seeing like how close Sierra and Amanda and myself are, because I think sometimes in such a big group of people and like we have such a large cast, you kind of like lose certain friendships, or they're not highlighted as much because there's so much happening. And so when people are recognizing like what good friends Amanda and Sierra are, I'm like so happy, because they truly are such good friends.
Yeah, no, especially, definitely Amanda, and especially Sarah this summer. Like you had a lot of emotional moments with her.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it like to kind of have her give it to you in the realest way possible too?
Well, I spend so much time with Sierra outside of the summer. Like she comes to my Thanksgiving with my family every year. So like I know her on such a deeper level. We've been friends for like almost 6 years. So everything she was saying to me over the summer, I think it was a little bit more shocking for the viewers, but it was like, oh, I've heard it before, because like that's my friend. So it wasn't like the first time for me. So I'm happy that people are seeing like what like a good friend she is, and how good she is at giving advice and stuff like that.
She said something to you, but puts her laptop up to her face.
Yeah.
Are you ever going to tell us what she said?
It's so funny because I would, but we do that all summer, and that's like the first time they've ever really like broken the fourth wall and showed that. So I truly have no idea what she said, because all summer we're holding like pillows that, like we're trying to also like get away with certain stuff.
I'm sure.
Like and talking. So I don't know what she said in that moment, because she probably said so many things all summer, but if I remember, I'll say it.
Okay. Do you feel more, now as the show is kind of progressing, do you feel more validated now? Because, you know, after everything that happened, you know, you got some backlash, which is kind of ridiculous, but do you feel like now that the show is progressing and people are seeing like what really happened, do you feel better about it?
I don't feel like more validated, because it's kind of like I always knew what happened. But I feel more, I would say, like at peace. Like I feel like I'm like moving on with like certain parts of my life, and it's so hard to film any reality show because, you know, like you get over certain things and then you have to wait for it to air. So it's like I kind of was over it, and then I was like, oh, but now I'm not, because everyone else has to like get over it too. So I feel like we do like joint therapy, like with the viewers. I'm like, no, you guys are gonna get over it. Just give it a couple weeks.
Yes, it's
like,
gonna be
I'm
okay.
telling you, it's okay on the other side.
Yeah.
So no, I feel like the summer is like we're going into a new summer, so it's like we'll have new problems.
Sure. How are you feeling going into this summer? Single in the summer?
I'm excited. I haven't been single for a summer in a while, but I'm also excited too, because I've never been single in my 30s, and I feel like it is just so drastically different than your 20s.
What kind of has taken you aback
I'm
so
like,
far?
I can't go to a club till 1 a.m. I'll spontaneously combust. Like, that's crazy. So socializing single is very different in your 30s, but it's very chic.
Okay.
It's like, sorry, I have a business dinner can't come on a date, you know? I love saying that.
I know that you kind of wrote that all your therapist has always picked out your boyfriends, right? Or that, like, or your therapist said that...
Yeah, that I've never picked a boyfriend.
Sorry, so a therapist said that you've never picked out a boyfriend. Are you determined this time for you to pick out the boyfriend?
No, I don't want that. No, a therapist said that to me, and it was like literally getting hit in the face with a brick. I was like, oh my God, I don't think the girls know this, that we're not picking our boyfriends. But no, she said that to me like in my early 20s, and I just always remembered it. And I think now being in my 30s, there's so many like different things that you're looking for than you were looking for at like 21, you know? So yeah, it's like very different dating now.
What are you looking for now?
Well, now compared to like 21, I don't care if like he can go out and like stay out and hang out with my friends. I'd actually prefer if he didn't want to do that. So now I think I'm just like looking for someone that like meshes easily with my life, and being like a reality TV person isn't like the easiest thing. So I think like they'd have to have some sort of love for reality TV.
Sure, yes, but maybe not on reality TV anymore.
I don't think being on it is what I need.
Yeah. Any non-negotiables for you?
Just like the normal ones, you know, like be a nice person and like love your mom and call her occasionally. But nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy. Did Jenna Bush Hager follow up with her?
You know she didn't. You know she didn't. And I actually should message her about that.
Yeah, totally.
Because she had a lot of ideas and then nothing.
Where are you, girl? Yeah. Give me a call.
Like, get me to Connecticut too. I'll come.
I'll come. We just came off the reunion. You were seated right next to Andy Cohen. How did you feel going into it? How did you feel afterwards? I know you can't tell me exactly what happened, but...
You know, it's funny because I think this was one of the first reunions, like, collectively that we've had, that there were a lot of laughing breaks. Like, there was just a lot of things that happened over the summer that had nothing to do with drama, that was just funny and, like, fun for a group of friends. So Andy, like, truly laughed so much at this reunion that, like, there were times where he was like, okay, come on, we have to get serious and like do this. Like I felt like we were at like a school function. It was like, okay, come on, we have to do the project now.
Right.
Like we're just like laughing too much. Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing. That doesn't usually happen at reunions.
It does not happen.
Was Jesse laughing at the end of this reunion?
You know, he probably laughed the least of us.
I would imagine.
But he definitely cracked a smile here and there.
Okay, did he leave as defeated as Wes did
I don't think anyone. I actually like still feel bad about this. Sometimes I see Wes and I'm like, I'm so sorry, I yelled at you so badly. I don't think anyone will leave a reunion the way Wes left last year, but I think Wes had a way better experience, I think, this year.
I mean, there's nowhere to go but up.
Yeah, truly.
It seems like in the latest episode, Sierra has some mixed feelings about, you know, maybe wanting to be friends with him, maybe not. What was it like for you to kind of see that, knowing what she went through with him?
I think it's so hard to be in a house with someone that you've like had a previous relationship with, let alone like everyone watching it and everyone in the house watching it. So I like don't envy her position. I think she's handled it so well, and I think West this summer also handled it well after, like, you know, Sierra said whatever she was upset about, and I think they talked, and I think they both are just on like a good path now.
Did Jesse just totally fumble the ball when it came to Lexi and how he handled everything? I
will say Jesse talked more at this reunion than Wes did last summer, so that was all we could ask for. Did he say the right stuff? Who's to judge? But he definitely spoke more.
Yeah, would you have handled it the same way that Lexi did?
I think Lexi did on the reunion or like in the show?
Yeah.
I think Lexi handled herself so beautifully, so graceful. I think she said exactly how she felt. I think she was like very emotionally intelligent when she was talking to Jesse, and I think she's got nothing to worry. She's gonna be fine.
Did you have any misconceptions that you wanted to clear up at the reunion after this season?
You know, not really. This was actually one of my first reunions. I was going in and I was like, wait, I'm not fighting with any of you. I like don't even care about you guys. Like, so it was a different experience. So it was really me like talking to him, Andy asking me questions, and me like, you know, telling my side or whatever. But I felt like with my cast, I actually felt so supported by them, and I feel like it brought me closer to them, because it really just did reiterate, like, at the end of the day, we have such a special bond because we filmed a TV show together for like 9 years now, and I feel like this reunion like really kind of showed that, like how close as we always will be. Like Lindsay having her baby and stuff. So it was nice.
I love your friendship with Lindsay. I like didn't see it coming like this, but like it seems like you're like the auntie that Gemma needs.
Truly, I spoil Gemma so much. I love buying her things.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
Is it so nice seeing her in this new chapter, and that? And did you feel the support from one another this that past summer?
It was so nice this summer, and I feel like the boys couldn't really like understand what we were all feeling, but we were watching our friend have this baby, and like I'd never really been around a pregnant person that much, and I certainly have never been around a woman like each week where I'm like watching her grow. So it literally felt like I was like, we were in this with her, because each week she would come back and she'd say like different things she's feeling or craving or just like what has changed, and it was truly beautiful to watch. Like it was so intense. Gemma is the first baby I've ever felt kick in someone's stomach. I immediately started crying. I was like, this is my child. And I think it just brought the girls so much closer together because we were like, our friend is about to do the most incredible thing a woman can do, and we can't wait to support her. So we were just very Team Lindsay this summer.
I love that. You know, obviously different circumstances, but was there any advice that she gave you kind of dealing with something so publicly?
You know, she was so calm, like her whole pregnancy, and she checked in on me. I honestly said this at the reunion. Me and Lindsay probably talked the most of anyone on the cast, like this fall. Like I was constantly checking in with her on Gemma, and she would respond and be like, no, I should be checking in on you, like what's going on. So we were both very attentive to each other.
Yeah, totally. What was it like seeing Carl profess his crush to
I was like, Carl, it's like a couple years too late, but like I love the confidence. Like that's like something to be admired. And Carl is just the sweetest guy. Like he really is the nicest person, and I think he's gonna end up with like the most phenomenal girl.
Yeah. Maybe it'll come back around, Paige.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that one. As you enter this new phase of your life, this new chapter, what are you most looking forward to?
Oh my gosh. I just love Giggly Squad so much. So I'm just looking forward to, like, me and Hannah always have so many ideas with Giggly Squad and like seeing certain things come to life, like just like our book coming out and like our YouTube series, and we're excited. We'll definitely do another tour in the future, so I'm just excited for like what we come up with.
Totally.
Honestly.
Are you looking for a relationship, or are you just concentrating on work, and if it happens, it happens?
Like if it happens, it happens, but I'm certainly not like running resumes, you know. But if someone sends theirs in, I'll take a look, but I'm not.
It's not top of list.
It's not my day-to-day job.
It's not top of list.
No.